Hello everyone, so today I'm going to be teaching you another sewing tutorial on how to make another doll dress, and this one is just super easy and quick and it requires hardly any supplies. So this is actually kind of what the dress is looking like. This is one that I was trying to film a video with this one, but it got messed up, so it's not the best, but you can kind of see how it's going to look in the end, although it'll look a lot better than this since, as I said, this was just something that I was trying to make that kind of got messed up. But so it's really easy, and you're just going to need some fabric. I'm using this blue flowery floral pattern fabric. You're also going to need some stretchy fabric. I'm using this white stocking that was too small for me and didn't fit me, so I love using this stuff for fabric since it's really stretchy. You're also going to need a big circle cutout because that's what the skirt is going to be. It's going to be a huge circle. So you're going to need a huge circle cutout, and this was just something that I found. I forget where I found it, but I just use it for patterns. It works really great. So you're going to need something like that. And I have all these different sizes here, as you can see, for different sizes of skirts. So depending on how long you want the skirt to be is going to be depending on how big your circle is going to be. So you're going to need that. And if you're not using stretchy fabric, you can also use some Velcro, because if you don't have any stretchy, you can just make the shirt part and just kind of make darts where it needs to fit around the waist, and then just add Velcro to it and you'll be fine. You're also going to need scissors, pins, a pen to mark things. You're going to need a sewing machine. So just kind of the every sewing project stuff. So let's get into the video. You're going to begin by cutting out your fabric with the circle. So I just cut that out already. As you can see, I have my floral pattern here. And this is our skirt portion. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to fold it in half. So you have like a half circle here. And you're going to fold it in half again so that it's a triangle with a curved edge, as you can see here. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab our scissors and we're just going to cut off the very tip of our friendly triangle here. So we just cut off the very tip because Barbie dolls have slim waists, so you don't need a big opening there. You just need a very small one. If you're making it for a bigger doll, you can cut a little bit more off of the tip. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put her through the hole and see if it's large enough. It's perfect. That's just about how long I want it as well, so that'll be great. Now what we're going to do is create our top part of the dress. So we're going to take our white stretchy fabric. It doesn't have to be white, but I'm just using this white here. And I'm just going to wrap it around her, just like so. And the stockings, it's like a tube, as you can see. So I'm not going to need to hem it because it's already clean up top. But if your fabric isn't, then you can just go ahead and hem it. So I'm just going to wrap this around her. Make sure you don't wrap it too tight because you still want it to be able to get over the hips. But you want to wrap it tight enough so that, it contours to the doll's body. So I'm just going to stab a pin right in here to keep everything in place. And then I'm going to kind of adjust it to see how everything's looking up top. And I think that looks pretty decent. Just imagine that with the skirt underneath of it. And I'm just going to go ahead and grab my pen here. Just do a little mark on the stocking where that is. Just leave maybe an inch or so, or half inch for a seam allowance. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. just like that. So now we have our top part and our skirt part. And what we're going to do next is we're going to work with the skirt again. And we're going to take it and we're going to cut a line right up to that hole there. So I'm just going to cut a line right to that hole. You can see that? Just cut it open. So now we have this very flowing skirt. This dress will probably look a lot better if you have a more flowing fabric. So I would recommend a more flowing fabric than a tough fabric. And I'll give you an example. This is fabric from Old Capris, and this is a bit more tough, and it wouldn't flow as nicely. But this is much more thin, so it'll flow a lot nicer. It'll flow a lot nicer. So, yeah, that's just my tip. It doesn't matter that much, but it will probably look better if you have a more of a flowing fabric. So what we're going to do next is we're going to stretch out our top part here. We cut, you may recall, we cut the skirt all the way up to that hole opening. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stretch it out. You see? So it's like this. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to take our top and be sure the good side is facing out. Because now what you're going to do is you're going to take the top part with the good side facing downwards. And we're going to just pin that right to the skirt. Okay? So I'm just going to take some pins and I'm just going to pin it along the top to make it all nice and pretty and easier to sew. As you probably know, pinning makes it so much easier to sew. And it is so true because it is so hard for me to sew weird things like this because you're trying to stretch out the skirt and stuff. So it's so hard for me to sew when it is not pinned with something like this. So I'm just going to quickly pin this up. Just stick one more pin in there. Just to kind of hold things together. Just works out a lot better. Okay. So now that we have all of that pinned up, you can add something else if you want to. Sometimes what I like to do, let's quickly repin this, I like to, on the shirt, I draw a line coming up to the top so I could sew along that line. And when I flip it up, you'll have that kind of pattern there. It looks really cute sometimes, but I think I'm just gonna stick with the straight stitch, for now. And we'll just do that. So I'm going to go ahead and just sew right along here, and then I'll be back. Alright, so I just went ahead and I sewed along there, and I'm just going to quickly cut off these extra threads and stuff. We're going to flip it up, and we're going to have a beautiful top part of our dress. So what we're going to do, we're just going to fit it to the doll, and just kind of wrap it around her and just see how everything is looking. And that's looking super cute right now. I'm really loving it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put it on her inside out, just like this. And I'm basically just going to hold it together. And I'm going to draw a line with my pen to kind of guide me where to sew so that everything contours to her body when we're sewing it together. So I'm just going to put this together good side to good side, And I'm going to sew right along where I drew, right there. And then I'm going to sew all the way down the skirt. And don't forget to backstitch at the beginning and at the end. Alright, so I went ahead and I sewed down that line and I just threw it on her inside out just to see how everything fits. It fits pretty well, I think, and I'm just going to flip it over to the right side and just try it out on the right side here, just to make sure. And if there's any adjustments that you might need to make, just go ahead and make them right now before we get into the last step. And you probably guessed what that last step is. It is the final hemming of the skirt part. We're just going to do a quick hem around the bottom of the skirt here to make it all nice and pretty. And then, of course, you're probably basically done unless you want to add anything extra to it. I might add a little sweetheart neckline there to give it a little bit of style, and then add maybe a button or a little jewel or something, just to kind of make it a little bit more fancy. So you can basically customize it however you want, but just don't forget to hem that. So that's what I'm going to do next. Alright, so this is how it looks like in the end. I just added 2 little beads up there to kind of make it a little bit more fancy. And this is just what it looks like. It's really, really pretty, and you can use whatever fabrics you want. You can also make a little under thing with like tulle or thick fabric like this, so that it makes the dress more poofy. It's kind of what I did. And it's just overall really cute and pretty, and it's super easy to make. It's just like how to make a dress 101 for your doll, because it is super easy. So anyway, I think that is it for this video, and I hope to see you guys in my next one. So, bye!